Miss Dawson, you tested positive for THC, which I think you anticipated, but you also tested positive for ecstasy.
He just said it was a steroid though. And I got a shot. I went to the hospital, I had a bad UTI. It was bad to the point where they had to give me a shot in my butt. They told me to get in my butt. But right here, I told them I wanted to get in my butt.
When was that?
This last week. But MDMA, like, what is ecstasy?
All right.
I don't like
There's worse things in here that are making you look bad than testing positive for that. Just listen. All right, you're going to get your probation. I'm going to do that today, but there's going to be some conditions so that I make sure that you're not using anything that you're not supposed to, including gummies or anything that you think, whatever it is.
And can I tell you this? I'm not an abuser. Last year I was just working for the state of Texas. I'm not an abuser at all. I don't.
Listen.
I just want to know. Like,
we're going to find out. Then you're not going to have. Then you're not going to have trouble.
I feel like that's making me look bad.
Listen, Miss Dawson, just pay attention to me for a minute, okay? You're okay, all right? Is be successful on probation, and that's all we all want, okay?
No,
so listen, you already told me, you've already said it, okay? I understand that you're not sure what this is. Maybe it's from the shot. It's okay, all right? We're going to make sure from this point forward that you don't have any issues you'll have certain rules on probation to follow, and then there won't be any issues, right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I wasn't talking about that. I was just trying to express to you, which I know you did say I was going to have my time to talk. I just want you to know I'm not an abuser.
Okay, you said that.
I don't abuse.
Okay.
Drugs,
You said that. You've already said it. But listen, the most important thing is that you figure out how to get your life together for your child. That's what we're really here about today. That you make better decisions than leaving a 2-year-old I'm worried about. Do you understand? Not a THC gummy, not whatever other thing that happened today. I want you to get your life together. You're young. You have had issues. I see what's going on with your family in here. But we want to break whatever cycle that you've been a part of so that you can be there for your child. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we want. The best for you, the best for your child. For you to be able to make those better decisions. All right? So I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty previously, freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. That is going to include being assessed for any special needs that you need, any counseling, whatever it is you need. We're going to have you assessed for that. And if they say you need to go to a counselor or you need it, whatever it is, those are things to help you, and you're going to be required to do them. Do you understand? And you'll obviously be required to test regularly. So any type of gummy, any type of anything, doesn't matter if they say in the shop it won't test positive, don't do any of them. Because even if you go buy it legally, I can't know the difference. It's just going to show up on a test. So don't do any of that. If you need some help with something making you feel better, then go through that counseling and do it the right way through a doctor. Okay?
That's what I was going to tell you. Like, I've been on a medicine that they
Good.
prescribe, like spinal top.
Good.
I just don't like feeling like dead inside. When taking it. Like,
I know. And I know there's certain medicines and they don't make you feel great.
That's my only thing. I just
but you can't
disconnected from being a parent.
Right. Well, talk to them about that because there's probably other medicines that they can try.
Yeah,
okay. But what you don't want to do is stop taking that medicine and then self-medicate with a gummy or something like that. Okay. That's what you can't do. So continue talking to them. Say, I don't like the way this one makes me feel. Let's try something different. And they'll find something that eventually makes you feel right, kind of in a balance. Okay. If you do everything you're supposed to while you're on this probation, this is an excellent opportunity. You don't have criminal history. You're not going to be a convicted felon. If you successfully complete it, the case gets dismissed at the end. You're going to get to be a mom. You're going to get regular jobs, do all the things that everybody else does, okay? The other side of that is if you violate any condition of probation. So if you don't show up for appointments, you test positive, you get arrested or whatever, you can be brought back in here and you could be found guilty. So you would be a convicted felon. And then you could go to the state jail prison for up to 2 days.
And I do want to apologize for me over talking to you. That's not my character.
That's okay. You're nervous. I know you're nervous. I know. We're good. All right. Good luck to you, ma'am. Oh, here's the, hold on. I didn't hand this. It's a trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, so you've waived your right to appeal. So just have a seat here in the courtroom and wait for her to call you up.
Now that the judge has wrapped this case, let's step back and really look at what just happened. Miss Dawson came into court expecting to face questions about THC, maybe a small violation, maybe a warning, but instead the twist hit her hard. Ecstasy in her system. For her, it was just a hospital shot, something she thought was a routine treatment. For the court, it was a dangerous drug, plain and simple. And that's the collision you just watched. Her personal explanation clashing against the black and white reality of the law. She kept insisting it must have come from the hospital. And sure, mistakes in medicine happen. But legally, that doesn't hold much ground. The court doesn't judge intentions, it judges results. If a drug is in your system, you're responsible. That's why credibility becomes everything in these situations. When Miss Dawson focused more on how she looked, saying over and over that this made her look bad, it showed exactly what judges watch out for. People who care about appearances more than accountability. And once that impression is made, it's hard to shake. But notice how the judge handled it. He didn't explode or throw the book at her. Instead, he kept bringing her back to the main point. Stay focused on probation, follow the rules, and let your actions speak. That is the quiet power of judicial strategy. Less about speeches, more about structure. Judges know that scolding rarely changes behavior. What does? Consistent rules, clear conditions, and the pressure of consequences. That's why probation exists, to test not what someone says, but what they actually do. And then, the case shifted. Out of nowhere, the judge dropped the real bombshell, leaving a 2-year-old alone in a hotel room. Suddenly, this wasn't just about drugs or excuses. It was about parenting, about safety, about whether Miss Dawson could be trusted with her own child. That is the kind of revelation that turns a small probation hearing into a life-changing moment. Courts will tolerate a lot, but child endangerment? That crosses every line. The judge's message couldn't have been clearer. Forget the gummies, forget the ecstasy. This is about the decisions you make as a parent. So what did the judge do in the end? He gave her a lifeline. Deferred adjudication. 3 years of probation. If she makes it through clean, no felony record, she walks away with her future intact. But if she slips even once, misses counseling, fails a test, gets arrested, then the mercy disappears, and the felony comes crashing down. That's the classic carrot and stick. Freedom in one hand, prison bars in the other. And believe me, many people don't make it. Probation sounds easy, but it's a system designed to trip you up if you're not serious. One wrong step, and your life changes forever. In the end, Miss Dawson walked out not convicted, but not free either. She's on the edge of a second chance. The judge offered her mercy, but with strings attached. Now the question is whether she'll rise to it or fall back into the same cycle. That's what makes this case more than just another courtroom story. It's about responsibility, redemption, and the choices that shape a future. So let me leave you with this. Was this justice served today, or just mercy misplaced? Do second chances really change people, or do they just delay the inevitable?